Talamasca.
Oh, wait. Did you mean the Talamasca? You don't think they're watching right now?
What's going on, y'all? It's Liam Crowley with Screen Rant. We're here at New York Comic Con, and I'm now joined with the team behind Talamasca. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time to chat today.
Thank you very much.
We're happy to be here.
Well, what we do know is that this is expanding the Immortal universe. This is our third series expanding this franchise. To start with you guys here, what was it about Talamasca, the story we're adapting here, that made it the right next step in the Immortal universe?
Well, I executive produced both Interview with the Vampire and Mayfair Witches, and am well aware of Anne Rice's books, and we're trying to figure out, all right, what's the next story we can tell? What's the next complement of characters we can embrace? And realize that the Talamasca, while it doesn't have its own book, appears in so many of her different books and different stories. And in fact, the Talamasca is a factor in both Interview and in Mayfair Witches. So I thought, all right, what a great organization, and the clandestine, well-financed organization that keeps tabs on supernatural comings and goings in the very physical, real world that we're used to. And so I thought, all right, there's something to be done here. And the idea that it could take place in a world of sort of a spy world, and I, as I often do, turned to my good friend John Lee Hancock and said, "What do you think about this?" And of course, he is. When I first told him, what about Anne Rice? I think he thought I had misstyled, but we got further into it, and here he is.
Yeah, and so John, this one obviously not adapting necessarily a specific story. It's kind of a collection of Anne Rice's books. Interview with a Vampire, we can obviously tell where that one came from. What elements of the different Anne Rice books are you pulling from for Talamasca?
Well, initially I said, give me everything that you can find. And so Tom Williams, another producer on the show, culled together every mention of Talamasca through all of Anne's books. And so I was able to read those in addition to the books. But to really find out the characters, how she had described the institution of the Talamasca. And it left me with lots of questions. It was really fun to read, and it was provocative, but it left me with lots of questions. So in looking at it, I thought that maybe I wanted to do a spy show, really, and I thought maybe there's a way to meld the two genres, and enjoying them both so much. And then, started to work on that, not knowing if it would work, but feeling, very, very proud of the results, and I don't know. It's great to have Anne Rice as a backstop for having created this. It's also, I have to admit, great that for me at least as a writer, that she didn't describe every bit of it top to bottom. So I had stupid questions. How are they funded? How do they recruit? Are they out in the open? Are they in a building? The mother houses they have, do they have a brass plaque out front that says TM Incorporated or something? And so those kind of questions are the ones that I gave to Guy Anatole, the protagonist, who could also be a skeptic like myself and wanted to know more about the Talamasca.
Yeah, one of the questions he could ask is, can Talamasca be trusted? Because that seems to be a prevailing theme.
No, they cannot. Let's just...
There's our answer. If you could tell me a little bit about Guy, what makes him tick? What is his level of trust? I mean, you already answered it there, but how does he feel about Talamasca as an organization?
Well, he doesn't like them. I mean, considering what they've done to him, kind of more or less groomed him for the last 26 odd years of his life, and then told him that all of that has just been, all of his real reality is a lie, and that he's now adrift. And the only way to kind of make sense of all of it is to buy into their organization and become a part of them. I feel like there's this weird love-hate relationship where I have to be a part of that. Guy has to be a part of that in order to figure out who the hell he is. So he has this strange kind of feeling, but he has no other option. I think that's what I found really kind of interesting about the character, is how far will someone go to get what they want when they have nothing to lose? He doesn't have anything to lose because he has no real reality, and they're the only ones that can make sense of it for him. So he goes on a really gnarly journey, and especially over the 6 episodes, it just transforms that kind of skepticism into rage, but also humanity, and all of the characters have these very multifaceted elements to them. And I think he feels this real strange connection, especially to the people that he meets along the way, the immortals that he meets along the way. supernatural. And so he's been quite a fun character.
I have to take the side of Talamasca just a little bit here, since we're trashing them, and say that they are a necessary, in my mind, institution. Not unlike the CIA or MI6 or something. It's like they have a very, very difficult international job to do, and they know that sometimes they have to do it in the shadows, and that they are not afraid to get their hands dirty at times when they have
And
to.
we'd rather
intrude.
not know about it. And and maybe it's all presumably for the country's good.
Yeah. Yes.
But there is
say what you will.
But there is a power to them. They have their own kind of power. You know, they have the knowledge, the facts that the Talamasca hold are their superpower, and they do wield that. So they are quite a formidable presence in the Immortals universe, but they're behind the scenes. And this show is giving a face to those. And I think that's really interesting to see, whether you like them or not.
Yeah, that presence within the universe. We'll talk a little bit about crossovers in a second. I want to know a little bit about Jasper William. What about this character attracted you to him?
Well, it's not like playing a soldier or a ball player. It's a vampire, and it's a whole new road. But it's not just that he is a vampire. It's the story. I'm old school enough to think if it's not on the page, it's not on the stage, and these scripts are wonderful. And this first season takes you places that I was hoping that it was going to come out this way, and it was going to play the way that it does, because you really dive into this world. Every single episode takes you on almost like a standalone journey. When I first met Mark Johnson and John Lee, having a cup of coffee a year ago, we talked about John Lee told me things that he thought who the character was, and he really stayed true to that he's a very different sort of immortal, kind of marches to his own drummer, and that's all I needed to hear, and away we went.
Away we went. I'm excited to follow Jasper's journey this season. I mentioned the crossover element. You guys confirmed it back at San Diego Comic-Con a couple months ago that Daniel from Interview with a Vampire would be back. That character would be back in the series. Is it the first of many? Are we going to see some more characters from maybe someone from Mayfair Witches as well?
Define many.
More than two or three.
You might be onto something. We want to be very judicious about it and make sure that we're not inorganic and just putting characters into just for the sake of a crossover. We want to make sure that they have a specific story, purpose, and can justify their being in that show. With that said, there are characters who you will see in this show, you'll see in Mayfair Witches, and you'll see an interview, and there's still some crossovers that come in all three shows.
We do have Raglan James.
We do have Raglan James.
Yeah, Justin Kirk makes an appearance, a very impressive appearance in one of the episodes, and it's amazing.
In a role that we didn't craft to say this is going to be Justin Kirk, Raglan James.
Right.
We said we're crafting this story, and oh my God, you know who would be absolutely perfect, who would absolutely be in the middle of this is Raglan.
Raglan James is a character who's introduced in Interview in the second season of Interview with the Vampire, and he is a Talamasca agent who is trying to get at what that show is all about, and he's introduced, and we don't know what to make of him. And then he reappears in this show. And all three shows are tied together through a general timeline and in the same world. It's not as though we're cherry picking different universes. These are happening at roughly the same time. So the three showrunners and the writers' rooms and things like that are all conversant in one another's shows. And something that we've done that I think was quite smart is that we've had the showrunners, John and Mark Lafferty, his co-showrunner, meet with the showrunners of both other shows and let them know what we're working on, what's projected, what future seasons, if there are future seasons, look like, so that everybody can plan accordingly.
Well, speaking of the future, we know that Night Island is in development. There's not much we know about it other than the fact that it's TBA in this Immortal universe. Is anyone here involved with Night Island?
Yes, of course. Yes, exactly. Did you say a dolphin?
Night golf.
Night golf.
Night's golf.
We have
I'm in it.
a couple of shows in development based on other books and other characters and other themes from Anne Rice's universe.
Amazing. So if we were to take a peek, obviously I don't want too many spoilers, but how many years, how many seasons in advance do you have mapped out for the Immortal universe? Do you have a giant conflict you're building to, or right now is it just kind of individual stories?
I'd love to say we have a big board somewhere with everything on it and planned, and I don't know. I'm assuming Marvel does that, but no, we're not. We take it step by step.
Okay, well, hey, when October 26th rolls around and we get to check out this series, I think the response is going to be strong, and hopefully we have a big, giant crossover event to build to. Those are always so fun to get to dissect. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time to chat.
Thank you. I hope you're right.
Thank you.